It is January 30th. Here is your update of what's going on in the war in Ukraine. Recently, Ukraine has been targeting Russia's oil and gas industry with long-range drone strikes. Today, I will go over why it's important and what it means for the grand scheme of things. In just 4 weeks, there have been at least 6 major attacks. Of these, the furthest and most impactful was the Novatek Ust-Luga terminal, over 1,363 kilometers away from the closest border in Ukraine. It's crucial for Russia's crude oil shipments. Now, yesterday, the most recent being the Slavneft oil refinery in Yaroslav, one of the largest refineries in Russia. These attacks not only showcase the reach that Ukraine has, they also showcase the degradation of Russia's air defense assets. The fact that drones can not only reach Moscow on a regular basis, but St. Petersburg, and successfully destroying key infrastructure pieces is an absolute embarrassment for Putin. Any damage to Russia's complicated petroleum infrastructure is incredibly difficult for Russia to fix. For one, majority of the technology is non-locally made and falls under sanctions. Even though Russia has been quite resourceful in finding ways around them, these parts are not some transistors that you can just rip out of a washing machine. These are complicated specialist parts and majority US made. Companies such as Halliburton and Baker Hughes are explicitly restricted from providing any specialist parts and services to Russia's oil and gas industry. Not only is this affecting the facilities that have been damaged by the attacks, it affects the whole system. Russia has relied on American companies to provide maintenance and build its vast and complicated oil and gas network. It completely stops the industry from drilling new sites, as companies are banned from exporting critical oil extraction equipment. These expertise are not replaceable by anything inside Russia and from its allies. It is a snowball that they can push only so far before it becomes too heavy. And these attacks only expedite that inevitability. The oil and gas sector is a cornerstone of Russia's economy. In 2021, revenues from oil and natural gas consisted to 45% of Russia's federal budget. Because of the sanctions, Russia has had to sell its oil at a discounted price to places like China and India. And now, more recently, Russia is having problems with India because India refuses to pay for the oil in dollars. It pays for it in Indian rupees to avoid repercussions from the US. It is clear that the industry in Russia has some major challenges, and it does affect Russia's ability to conduct the war at, I guess, the rate it presumably would like to. But unfortunately, the income is quite vast, and it's enough to keep the war going, I guess, at a steady pace. But much depends on Putin's willingness to redirect these funds directly into the war effort at the expense of Russia's internal stability, I guess. Unfortunately, all signs indicate that he is prepared to accept a situation far worse than the current state of affairs to continue his agenda. Media attention is ever shifting. The reality of what's happening here in Ukraine is completely disappearing from the public eye. I mean, articles I write, they very often get pushed or even not published. And editors that used to hound me for attention in the beginning of the war have just completely stopped answering their emails. If you want to support me and independent journalism, please consider buying me a coffee. The link is in the bio. I'll see you next time.